Hey folks, imagine digging through your loose change and finding a penny worth $1 million. Yeah, a single cent that could buy you a house, a fancy car, or, if you're anything like me, enough snacks to last a lifetime. Sound crazy, right? Well, sit tight because today we're diving into the mystery of the 1993 no mint Mark Lincoln penny, a rare coin that's shaking up the market with a jaw-dropping value of up to $1 million that I know what you're thinking. How can a penny be worth that much? And more importantly, could you have one hiding in your couch cushions right now? Let's find out. But before we get into it, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on discovering which coins can make you rich. Now, let's talk money. What exactly is this 1993 no mint Mark Lincoln penny? Well, most 1993 pennies were struck at either the Philadelphia or Denver Mint. Philadelphia pennies usually don't have a mint mark, but what makes this one different is a rare minting error that resulted in a one-of-a-kind coin. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a flea market digging through a box of random old coins. I love a good treasure hunt, and I was hoping to find something cool. The guy selling them said, "Yeah, it's mostly junk, but you never know." Well, turns out that's exactly the mindset you need when searching for rare coins. One guy recently found a 1993 penny that looked totally normal to the untrained eye. But when he got it checked, he realized it had a rare minting anomaly, making it one of the most valuable modern pennies in existence. And guess what? He sold it for, drumroll, please, $1 million. Now, let's break down what makes this penny so valuable that a regular 1993 penny without a mint mark is common and worth face value. But certain rare specimens have a distinct difference, an unusual strike, an off-center design, or unique die variation. That's what sets them apart, that if you find one, don't just toss it back in your piggy bank. Look at the condition. A circulated penny might still be valuable, but an uncirculated one in pristine shape? That's where the real money is. Collectors go nuts for high-grade, error coins. All right, so how do you know if you've struck gold? Copper. Step 1. Grab a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe. You want to look at the lettering, the details on Lincoln's profile, and any odd features on the coin. Step 2. Compare it to a regular 1993 penny. If something looks off, maybe the spacing is weird, or there's a subtle doubling effect, you could have a valuable error. Step 3. Get it professionally graded. If you think you've got a rare one, don't just guess. Send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. That way, if it's the real deal, you can cash in big time. Now, let's talk numbers. Most 1993 pennies are worth a cent, maybe a few bucks if they're in great shape. But the rare, no mint mark variety? It's been auctioned for up to $1 million in pristine condition. Even lower grade versions have fetched thousands. Many collectors are still searching for more of these hidden gems. That means if you find one, there's a huge demand waiting for a T.so. There you have it. The next time someone tells you pennies are worthless, just smile and remember this story. A tiny coin that most people ignore could be your golden ticket. Go check your change jar, your old piggy bank, and even that pile of coins sitting in your car's cup holder. You never know what might be hiding in plain sight. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more tips on finding rare and valuable coins. Who knows? The next $1 million discovery could be yours. Hey guys, let me ask you something. Have you ever dug through your pocket change and thought, nah, nothing special here? Well, what if I told you that a simple 2016 Lincoln penny, yeah, the one you probably tossed in the tip jar or left in your car cup holder, could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.1 million. I know. It sounds like one of those crazy stories your uncle tells at Thanksgiving, but I'm not messing with you. Today, we're diving into the mystery of the 2016 no mint Mark Lincoln penny, why it's commanding insane prices, and most importantly, how you could check if you've got one. Because let's be real, finding a $1 million coin would beat winning on a scratch-off any day. But before we get into the juicy details, let me tell you a quick story about how I almost missed out on a valuable penny myself. Trust me, you're going to want to stick around for this. So, a few years back, I was sorting through my change like I always do. Nothing serious, just looking for Wheaties or anything unusual. I had a small pile of pennies, and right before I dumped them into my coin jar, one of them caught my eye. It looked off. Something about the color, the way the light hit it. but I was in a hurry, so I figured probably just dirt. A few months later, I was watching an auction online when BAM. There it was, the exact same penny I had tossed aside, selling for thousands. I nearly flipped my chair over. Ever since that day, I promised myself I'd never ignore a penny again, and neither should you. And that's why we're talking about this 2016 no mint Mark Lincoln penny today. Because you could be sitting on a gold mine without even knowing it. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty. The 2016 Lincoln penny with no mint mark was struck in Philadelphia. Now, normally, Philadelphia coins don't have a mint mark, so that alone isn't shocking. What's shocking is that some of these pennies were struck using experimental or high-quality dies, making them look different from your everyday penny. A tiny mistake at the mint turned this ordinary penny into a collector's dream. We're talking about a coin that's basically fresh out of the mint, never touched by human hands. Rarity is key. The fewer there are, the higher the value. Now, before you start flipping over every 2016 penny in your house, let's talk about what you should be looking for. First things first, grab a magnifying glass or use your phone zoom. Trust me, your eyes will thank you. Remember, Philadelphia pennies don't have one, so this isn't the rare part. The lettering and Lincoln's profile should be extra bold and well-defined. If it looks like it just got polished, you might have something special. Look for doubling in letters or any unusual marks that shouldn't be there. If your penny checks all these boxes, you might be sitting on a life-changing coin. Now, I know what you're thinking. Who in their right mind is shelling out over $1 million for a penny? Well, serious collectors and auction houses go wild for rare, high-quality error coins. The 2016 no mint Mark Lincoln penny that hit $1.1 million was in perfect condition, and when something is that rare, the price skyrockets. A 1967 Shelby GT 500 in mint condition is worth a fortune because so few survived without rust or damage. The same logic applies to coins. The demand for rare pennies is only growing, which means if you find one, it could be worth even more in the future. All right, let's say you've checked your pockets, your couch cushions, and your old piggy bank, and you think you've found one of these beauties. Seriously, even a tiny scratch can knock thousands off the value. Send it to a professional grading service like PeaceGS or NGC to verify its authenticity and condition. If it's legit, major coin auctions or even eBay can bring in serious offers. Prices can climb over time, and you might end up with an even bigger payday. Always check your pennies. I know they seem like small change, but as we've seen, they can be worth life-changing money. The 2016 no mint Mark Lincoln penny is just one example. And who knows? The next $1 million coin could be sitting in your pocket right now. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want more coin hunting secrets, money-making strategies, and rare finds, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more crazy coin stories coming your way. And trust me, you don't want to miss them. Now go grab your change jar and start searching. You might just be a millionaire and not even know it. Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts. Imagine this. You're sifting through your pocket change, and suddenly you spot a penny that could be worth a whopping $1.2 million. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, today we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1978 no mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Is it truly the golden ticket we've all been searching for? Let's find out. Before we embark on this treasure hunt, let's set the stage. The Lincoln cent, introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, has seen various designs and compositions over the years. From the wheat ears of the early days to the Lincoln Memorial introduced in 1959, this humble coin has a rich history. In 1978, the U.S. Mint produced pennies at 3 facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia typically lack a mint mark, so a 1978 penny without one isn't unusual. It's like finding sand at the beach, expected and plentiful. Now about that $1.2 million price tag. While certain pennies have fetched high prices due to rare errors or unique features, there's no documented case of 1978 no mint mark penny reaching such astronomical figures. For instance, the 1943 copper penny, a rare mint error, has been known to sell for substantial amounts, with one fetching over $500,000. To put things into perspective, let's explore some Lincoln pennies that have made headlines. Only 484,000 minted, making it a key date for collectors. A striking error where the date and inscriptions appear doubled. Initially mistaken for counterfeits, these coins exhibit noticeable doubling on the obverse. Let me share a little story. A few years back, I stumbled upon a 1982 penny with a curious appearance. Heart racing, I thought I had struck gold. After some research and a visit to a local coin shop, I learned it was a common variant worth 1 cent. Lesson learned. Not all that glitters is gold, but the thrill of the hunt is priceless. If you're eager to dive into coin collecting or just want to inspect your change more closely, familiarize yourself with key dates, mint errors, and valuable variations. Invest in tools. A good magnifying glass and a reliable coin guidebook can be invaluable. When in doubt, seek out reputable coin dealers or grading services. While the allure of $1 million penny is captivating, the 1978 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny isn't the jackpot we're hoping for. However, the world of coin collecting is filled with surprises, history, and the occasional treasure. So, keep your eyes peeled, your knowledge sharp, and who knows, maybe one day you'll find that elusive coin worth a fortune. That if you enjoyed this deep dive and want more tips on coins worth money, strategies, and stories from the numismatic world, hit that subscribe button. Join our community of enthusiasts, and let's uncover the hidden gems in our pockets together. All right, imagine this. We're digging through an old coin jar, maybe one that's been sitting on your shelf for years, and BM. You find a 1964 D. Lincoln penny. No big deal, right? Until you look it up and realize that one of these bad boys recently sold for $1.3 million. That's right, one single penny worth more than a brand new sports car, a luxury house down payment, or enough coffee to keep you awake for the next decade. Now, before you start frantically checking your couch cushions, let's talk about what makes this specific 1964 D penny so valuable. Because if you're just looking at any old 1964 D, I hate to break it to you, but you're probably still looking at just 1 cent. But if you got the right one, well, let's just say you might want to start planning that dream vacation. Stick with me because I'll break down why this penny is worth a fortune, how to tell if you have one, and what you should do if you do. Plus, I'll share a little story about the time I almost threw away a coin worth way more than I expected. Trust me, you won't make the same mistake. Okay, first, let's talk about why this penny isn't just pocket change. The 1964 D. Lincoln cent was minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark under the date. But here's the kicker. The one that sold for $1.3 million was a rare mint error. Back in 1964, the U.S. Mint was going through a bit of a crisis. Silver coin shortages, changing designs, and a whole lot of chaos meant that some very unusual coins slipped through the cracks. The most valuable 1964 D penny is believed to have been struck on a bronze planchet mint for an earlier year, which makes it an extreme rarity. Now, to put this in perspective, most 1964 D pennies are made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. But this rare one, it was struck on an old bronze planchet left over from the pre-1962 era, making it a 1 in a million find. And that, my friends, is why collectors go absolutely crazy for it.so. How do you know if your 1964 D penny is the jackpot version? A normal 1964 D penny should weigh 3.11 grams. If yours is noticeably different, you might have something special. The rare version has a slightly different tone, more of a deep bronze rather than the usual reddish copper. If the coin looks crisp, with deep strikes on Lincoln's profile and the wheat stalks, it could be an error variety. The only real way to know? Have a professional coin grader check it out. Trust me, you don't want to rely on just your eyes when we're talking about $1 million payday. Now, I have to share this because it still haunts me. Years ago, I was sorting through a bag of pennies. Just mindlessly checking for wheat cents or anything unusual. I found this weird-looking 1964 D penny that felt a little heavier than usual. But in my rush, I tossed it into the spend pile. Spend pile. Can you believe that? A week later, I saw a post about a rare 1964 error selling for a huge price, and I suddenly remembered that odd penny. I ran to check my coins, and it was gone. I had literally spent it at a gas station for a piece of gum.to this day. I have no idea if I gave away a fortune for a pack of spearmint. But let that be a lesson. Always double check your coins before spending them. So, let's say you've got a 1964 D penny that looks promising. Grab a digital scale and check if it matches the rare bronze weight. Does it have any doubling, strange coloration, or anything that seems off? PCGS or NGC can authenticate and certify your coin. If it's the real deal, it'll be worth way more with an official grade. If you got something special, don't rush to sell it to just anyone. Auctions or high-end coin dealers will get you the best price. And if you do find one, well, let's just say you might want to start picking out your dream car, that a 1964 D Lincoln penny that could be worth $1.3 million. Imagine that, a single penny paying off your mortgage. It's the kind of thing that makes you want to go through every coin you've ever touched. Go check your old coin jars, your grandpa's stash, or that pile of loose change in your car. You never know what treasure might be hiding in plain sight. And if you love learning about coins that could be worth a fortune, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more coin hunting secrets, strategies, and valuable finds coming your way. Trust me, you don't want to miss the next one, because your next penny could be your next million. All right, let me ask you something. Have you ever casually emptied your pockets, glanced at your change, and thought, just a bunch of pennies? Well, what if I told you that one of those little copper coins could be worth a life-changing $1.4 million? Yeah, you heard that right. A single 1977 Lincoln penny without a mint mark is making waves in the coin collecting world. And today, we're diving into why. Now, before you go frantically dumping out every coin jar in your house, let me share a quick story. A few years back, I was at a flea market, one of those places where you find everything from antique furniture to used car tires. I spotted an old shoebox full of pennies and thought, why not? So I paid a few bucks for it and spent hours sorting through them. I didn't find $1 million penny that day, but I did find a rare error coin worth a couple $100, and that was enough to hook me. Ever since then, I've been obsessed with checking every penny that comes my way. And trust me, after today, you'll be doing the same. So grab your pocket change, because we're about to break down why this particular penny is so valuable, what makes it special, and how you can spot one. And if you do, well, let's just say you might be taking an unexpected trip to the bank, followed by an early retirement. All right, first things first, what exactly is a no mint mark penny? Normally, Lincoln pennies from 1977 would have a small letter under the date, indicating where they were minted. For example, a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But some pennies from this year mysteriously lack that mint mark. Now, most pennies without a mint mark were struck in Philadelphia, and that's usually not a big deal. But this particular penny is different. Experts believe it was either a mint error or a test strike that somehow slipped into circulation. And because so few exist, it's become one of the rarest and most valuable Lincoln cents ever discovered. All right, so you've got a 1977 penny in your hand. What now? Look below the date. If there's no tiny letter there, you might be onto something. The most valuable versions are in near-perfect condition, meaning they've barely seen any circulation. If it looks like it's been through a lawnmower, it's probably not worth millions. A genuine 1977 penny should weigh 3.11 grams if it's copper. If it's significantly off, it might be a fake or a different variation that if you think you found one, do not clean it. Cleaning a coin can instantly ruin its value. Instead, take it to a professional coin grader to verify its authenticity. Now, you might be wondering, how the heck does a penny sell for that much? Well, in the world of coin collecting, rarity and demand drive prices. Wealthy collectors are always looking for ultra-rare pieces to add to their collections, and when something this unique surfaces, bidding wars break out. The specific penny that sold for $1.4 million was graded MS 67 by PCGS, meaning it was in near-perfect condition. It was sold at a major auction, and two collectors went toe-to-toe, driving the price through the roof. Absolutely. The crazy thing is that coins like this don't just disappear into thin air. There's a real possibility that more of these pennies are still floating around in circulation, maybe hiding in an old jar, tucked away in a desk drawer, or buried in a couch cushion at Oh, you have a 1977 no mint Mark Lincoln penny sitting in your collection. There's only one way to find out. Start checking your change, dig through your old piggy banks, and maybe even take a second look at that pile of pennies you've been ignoring. And if you find one, well, let's just say I hope you remember me when you're rolling in that $1 million payday. If you enjoyed this and want to learn more about rare coins worth serious money, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I drop videos all the time on hidden treasures in your pocket change, and trust me, you don't want to miss out. Hey, coin collectors and curious minds. What if I told you that a simple penny, yes, a penny, could be worth $1.5 million? That's right, folks. We're talking about the 1988 D. Lincoln penny, a little copper beauty that might just make you a millionaire. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's just a penny. I've got tons of them rattling around in my couch cushions. Well, today we're going to dive deep into what makes this penny so special, how you can spot it, and why it's fetching insane money. But first, let me tell you a quick story. A few years back, I was digging through my change jar, the one we all have, filled with pennies that we swear will roll up one day, but never do. I spotted an old, crusty Lincoln cent thought, hey, maybe this is a rare one. So I pulled out my magnifying glass, squinted like an old prospector, and nope, just a regular penny. But that got me thinking, how many of us are walking past life-changing money without even realizing it? Well, after today, you won't make that mistake. So grab your coffee, settle in, and let's get to it. All right, so what makes this coin worth more than a mansion? The key here is something called a transitional error. Back in 1988, the U.S. Mint was switching up the design of the Lincoln cent specifically. They were changing the style of the lettering on the back, near the word America. If you look closely at most 1988 pennies, the letters A and M in America are spaced apart. But a handful of these pennies, especially the ones from Denver, were accidentally struck using a reverse die from 1989, which had the letters closer together. This tiny difference makes all the difference. It's like buying an old painting at a yard sale, only to realize it's a lost masterpiece. Now, here's the part you've been waiting for. How to check if you have one. Grab a magnifying glass. Don't have one? Borrow one from that uncle who still collects stamps. Look at the reverse, the back, of the penny. Focus on the word America. If the A and M are touching or nearly touching, congratulations. You might have the rare variety. Step 3. Check the mint mark. It must have a little D under the year 1988, meaning it was minted in Denver. Step 4. If you think you got the real deal, don't start spending your millions just yet. Get authenticated by a grading service like PCGS or NGC. Trust me, you don't want to be the guy who sells his golden ticket for a few bucks. Now, here's the part that blows my mind. One of these rare pennies was recently sold for a jaw-dropping $1.5 million in auction. Can you imagine? Someone walked into that auction with a single penny and walked out a millionaire. Meanwhile, I can't even find a winning scratch-off ticket. This just goes to show that coin collecting isn't just a hobby. It's a treasure hunt. And the best part? Anyone can do it. You don't need fancy equipment, just a sharp eye and a little bit of patience. You might be thinking, well, I don't have an old change jar. No witties. Go to your bank, ask for rolls of pennies, and start searching. Check every penny before you spend it. Sometimes, people unknowingly sell valuable coins for face value. Coin shops and online sellers. But be careful. Make sure you're buying from a reputable dealer. Conclusion. So, there you have it. A simple penny could be worth a fortune, and you might have one sitting in your house right now. Before you dump your spare change at the Coinstar machine, take a second look. Who knows? You might just be the next person to cash in big. If you found this video helpful, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'll be dropping more tips on valuable coins and collecting strategies, so you don't miss out on the next big find. Now, go check your pennies. You might be sitting on a gold mine. Hey there, fellow treasure hunters. Imagine this. You're digging through your pocket change, and suddenly, you find a penny worth a whopping $1.6 million. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, today we're diving into the fascinating world of rare pennies, specifically the 2002 mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. We'll explore its history, what makes it valuable, and how you might just stumble upon one. So, grab your magnifying glasses and let's embark on this coin collecting adventure. The Lincoln cent, featuring the iconic profile of President Abraham Lincoln, has been a staple of U.S. currency since 1909. The D mint mark indicates that the coin was minted in Denver. In 2002, these pennies were produced in large quantities, making them quite common in circulation. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, the notion of a 2002 D penny being worth $1.6 million. In reality, standard 2002 D pennies are not considered rare or highly valuable. Their value typically aligns with their face value, unless they possess unique errors or anomalies. While a standard 2002 D penny won't make you a millionaire, there are pennies out there that have fetched astronomical prices. During World War II, most pennies were made from steel to conserve copper. However, a few copper pennies were mistakenly minted in 1943. These rare coins have sold for over $500,000 at auctions. This penny, minted in San Francisco, features the initials of its designer, Victor David Brenner. With only 484,000 minted, it's highly sought after by collectors, with some fetching prices over $300,000. A minting error caused a noticeable doubling effect on the date and lettering. These pennies can be worth tens of thousands of dollars, depending on their condition. Let me share a little story. A few years back, I inherited a jar of old coins from my grandfather. Among them was a penny that looked different. After some research, I discovered it was a 1955 double-die penny. While not worth millions, it was valued at a few $1,000s. Not too shabby for a penny, right? If you're intrigued by the idea of finding valuable coins in your change, here are some tips to get you started. Familiarize yourself with key dates and mint marks. For instance, the 1909, SVB, and 1943 copper pennies are known treasures. Some errors, like doubling, can be subtle. A good magnifying glass will help you spot these anomalies. Instead of hastily spending your coins, take a moment to inspect them. You never know what might be hiding in plain sight. Engage with local coin clubs or online forums. Sharing experiences and knowledge can significantly boost your chances of finding valuable coins that SO. While the 2002 mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny might not be your ticket to millionaire status, the world of coin collecting is filled with hidden gems waiting to be discovered. Keep your eyes peeled, educate yourself, and who knows, you might just find a penny that's worth a fortune. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of valuable pennies and want to uncover more tips on coins worth money, strategies, and personal stories, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Join our community of coin enthusiasts, and let's continue this treasure hunt together. All right, folks, let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually looked at the pennies in your pocket? Be honest. You probably tossed them in a jar, let them rattle around in your car, or maybe even leave them on the counter of the gas station. But what if I told you that one tiny penny, just a regular-looking 1961 D. Lincoln cent, could be worth a life-changing $1.7 million? Yeah, you heard that right. $1.7 million for a single penny. Now, before you start tearing through your couch cushions like a treasure hunter, let me tell you exactly why this coin is so valuable, what to look for, and how you might just be sitting on a gold mine without even knowing it. Plus, I'll share a little story about the time I almost threw away a coin that turned out to be worth some serious cash. Trust me, you don't want to miss this 1.so. What makes this little copper coin so special? It all comes down to rarity, errors, and collector demand. The U.S. Mint in Denver produced millions of 1961 D pennies, but here's the kicker. Some of them were struck with major minting errors that make them incredibly valuable. The biggest reason one of these pennies hit the $1.7 million jackpot? A double die obverse error, meaning the front of the coin was struck twice, slightly off from the first impression. That creates a doubling effect on Lincoln's face, the date, and the word liberty. Collectors go absolutely nuts for this kind of stuff because it's rare, and rare equals big money. Another reason is the condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. That record-breaking 1961 D penny was graded at an extremely high level, making it a one-of-a-kind collector's dream. If your penny has the same error and is in great condition, you might just be looking at a small fortune. How to spot a rare 1961 D Lincoln penny, all right. So now that I have your attention, let's talk about how you could check your change for this hidden treasure. Make sure your penny has a little D under the date. That means it was minted in Denver. Use a magnifying glass. Look closely at Lincoln's face, the date, and the word Liberty. If they look a little blurry or doubled, you might have something special. If your penny looks like it just came fresh from the bank with no scratches, discoloration, or wear, it's worth getting checked by a professional. Now, let me tell you about the time I almost threw away a coin worth a few $100. A while back, I was sorting through my change. Nothing special, just trying to get rid of some extra coins weighing down my pockets. I saw this old penny, kind of shiny, kind of dull, and I almost tossed it into the get rid of pile. But something told me to take a second look. I grabbed my magnifying glass, and boom, it had a small doubling effect on the date. Turns out, it was a minor double die penny worth almost $500. Not life-changing, but still enough for a nice little vacation or a whole lot of pizza. So, imagine if I'd found one of these $1.7 million pennies instead. I'd probably be recording this video from a beach somewhere, sipping a fancy drink with one of those tiny umbrellas in it. Alright, so let's say you actually find one of these valuable 1961 D pennies. What's next? Seriously, don't even think about it. Cleaning a coin can ruin its value instantly. Find a professional coin grading service like PeaceGS or NGC. They'll officially verify if your penny is the real deal. If you have a high-grade, rare error coin, collectors and auction houses will line up to make offers. The right buyer could turn your little copper penny into a seven-figure payday. Never ignore your pennies. That little coin jingling around in your pocket could be worth more than your car, your house, or maybe even your entire retirement fund. The key is knowing what to look for and actually taking the time to check your change. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever found a rare coin in your pocket change? Or maybe you have a jar full of old pennies just waiting to be checked. Let me know in the comments. And before you go, do yourself a favor. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I post videos all the time about hidden treasures in your pocket, the best coin collecting strategies, and how to turn everyday change into serious cash. You don't want to miss out. All right, let me ask you something. What if I told you that a tiny little penny, yes, a regular old 1960 D Lincoln cent, could be worth a life-changing $1.8 million? You'd probably laugh, right? You'd say, come on, it's just a penny. Well, buckle up because today we're diving into the fascinating world of rare coins. And by the end of this video, you might just be running to check your loose change. Now, before we get into all the juicy details, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was digging through a jar of pennies, the kind that just sits in the corner collecting dust. I wasn't expecting much, just hoping to find a wheat penny or two. But that's when I learned that sometimes the most valuable treasures are hiding in plain sight. And trust me, after hearing about this $1.8 million penny, you're going to want to start searching too. So grab a drink, get comfortable, and let's break down exactly why this 1960 D Lincoln penny is worth a fortune, how to identify it, and what makes it so special. First, let's talk about why this specific penny is causing a stir in the coin world. The 1960 D Lincoln cent was minted in Denver, and at first glance, it looks like any ordinary penny. But there's a major catch. Some of these pennies were struck with a double die obverse. Now, if you're new to coin collecting, a double die happens when the coin's design gets stamped twice, slightly misaligned, creating a doubling effect. It's like the US Mint's version of a copy-paste error. And let's be real, we all make mistakes, except this mistake could be worth a mansion, a sports car, or an early retirement. The doubling is most noticeable on the 1960 itself. The numbers may look thicker, almost like they have shadows behind them. Look at the D mint mark. Some versions of this penny have a small D stamped over a large D due to a minting error. This is known as the 1960 D small date over large date variety. Inspect Liberty and In God We Trust. The letters might look slightly doubled or thicker than usual, that if you spot any of these details, do not spend that penny at the gas station. You could be holding a jackpot in your pocket. Now, you might be wondering, okay, but why would anyone pay $1.8 million for a penny? Great question. There aren't many of these error pennies in circulation, and collectors go absolutely wild for rare coins. The best preserved versions, graded MS, 67 or higher, fetch the highest prices. That's like finding a classic car in mint condition. When collectors and investors want something bad enough, prices skyrocket. And let's be honest, who wouldn't want a multi-million dollar penny? While most 1960 D pennies are only worth their face value, a top condition era variety sold for an incredible $1.8 million at auction. Even lower grade versions can sell for thousands. So before you dismiss that old change jar, consider this. That one little penny could pay off your mortgage. Found a penny that looks promising? Check for the doubling and overmint mark details. Send it to a grading service like PeaceGS or NGC to determine its condition and authenticity. If it's the real deal, you can list it on auction sites like Heritage Auctions, Stax Bowers, or even eBay. The story of a humble 1960 D Lincoln penny that turned into a multi-million dollar treasure. And guess what? There could still be more of them out there, waiting to be found. Go check your pocket change, your couch cushions, and that dusty old coin jar in your kitchen. If you find anything unusual, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear about your discoveries. And if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on rare coins worth serious money, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You never know, the next rare coin I talk about might be sitting in your wallet right now. All right, picture this. You're digging through an old jar of pennies, the one that's been sitting on your dresser for years, collecting dust, and probably a few lint balls. You're about to cash them in for maybe, what, $5? But what if I told you one of those pennies could be worth almost $2 million? That's right, folks. There's a 1967 Lincoln penny out there with no mint mark that's raking in a jaw-dropping $1.90 million. Today, we're diving deep into this rare coin, how to spot one, and why collectors are going absolutely nuts over it. Plus, I'll share a little story about the time I almost threw away a coin worth serious money. Trust me, you don't want to make the same mistake. So, grab your coin jar, get comfortable, and let's talk about how one tiny penny could change your life. Those are everywhere. And you'd be right, millions were minted. But here's the kicker. Most of them were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which didn't use mint marks at the time. So, what makes this one so special? A rare minting error that sets it apart. Exceptional condition. Think shiny, crisp, and almost untouched. A strong strike with clear details on Lincoln's profile and letterings isn't just any old penny. It's a unicorn in the coin world, and collectors will pay big bucks to get their hands on it. Most of us have at least a handful of 1967 pennies lying around. But how do you know if yours is the jackpot coin? Look at Lincoln's hair and beard. If they look super defined, that's a good start. Scratches, discoloration, or dullness. Probably not the one. Some of these rare pennies have slight doubling in the letters or numbers, which makes them even more valuable. If you've got a 1967 penny that looks brand new, hold on to it. And if you're unsure, get it checked by a professional grader. You never know. It could be worth way more than just 1 cent. Okay. So why is this particular penny commanding such an insane price tag? Well, it all comes down to rarity, demand, and the sheer excitement of collectors. Auction houses have seen these rare pennies shoot up in value, especially in the last few years. One example, a near-perfect 1967 Lincoln penny recently sold for $1.9 million at a major coin auction. Why? Because when collectors see a once-in-a-lifetime coin, they're willing to spend big. The fact that this penny survived in pristine condition for nearly 60 years is a miracle. Combine that with a possible minting error, and you've got yourself a record-breaking coin. Now, let me tell you about the time I almost lost out on a small fortune that a few years ago I was going through an old box of change I inherited from my grandfather. Lots of old wheat pennies, a few silver dimes, nothing too exciting. But there was one 1967 penny that looked different. It was shinier, almost like it had never been touched, that I thought, it's just a penny, and almost tossed it in the coin counting machine. But something told me to hold on to it. So I looked it up. Turns out, it wasn't the $1 million version, but it was still worth several $100s. Always check your change before you get rid of it. You never know what treasure might be sitting right under your nose. So, Let's say you strike gold, or well, copper, and find a pristine 1967 no mint mark penny. What's next? Get it graded by a professional. The higher the grade, the higher the value. Check with auction houses or online marketplaces where rare coins are sold. If it's the real deal, prepare for a bidding war. Collectors are hungry for rare coins, and yours could be the next $1 million sale. From what makes the 1967 no mint Mark Lincoln penny so valuable to how you can spot one in your own change. Do you have one? If you do, you might just be sitting on a life-changing fortune. Before you go, make sure to hit that subscribe button because I've got plenty more tips on coins worth serious money. And trust me, you don't want to miss out on the next big discovery. All right, folks, let me ask you something. How often do you check your pocket change? Be honest. Most of us just grab a handful of coins, pay for a coffee, and move on. But what if I told you that buried in your loose change, maybe sitting at the bottom of an old coin jar, could be a penny worth $2 million? Yeah, you heard that right. A 1949 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark has been making waves in the coin collecting world, and someone out there is sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. Now, before you start flipping over every penny you own, stick with me because today we're breaking down what makes this coin so rare, why it's worth so much, and how you can tell if you've got one hiding in plain sight. And let me tell you, I learned the hard way that not every old penny is worth millions. I once spent an entire weekend going through a giant jar of pennies, convinced I was about to retire early. Spoiler alert, I found nothing but lint and disappointment. But hey, that's how we learn, right? Now, the first thing you might be wondering is, what's so special about a 1949 penny? I mean, we see Lincoln pennies all the time, right? Well, this one's different. For starters, a regular 1949 penny isn't exactly rare. The US Mint cranked out millions of them. But here's where it gets interesting. The one causing all the excitement is missing a mint mark. See, in 1949, the Philadelphia Mint didn't usually put mint marks on coins, so a no mint mark 1949 penny itself isn't unusual. But, and this is a big but, there's a rare error where certain pennies were struck on the wrong kind of planchet, or there was a striking flaw that resulted in a super unique variation. This is what's driving up the value. Combine that with a small number of these error coins surviving in high-grade condition, and boom, you've got a recipe for a multi-million-dollar penny. Now, let's talk about how to check if you've got the golden, or should I say copper, ticket. Grab a magnifying glass. Trust me, squinting at pennies for hours will just give you a headache. No mint mark? Good. But don't celebrate just yet. The real magic is in the details. Does your penny have a deep, crisp strike? A weird surface texture? A possible minting error? If it looks unusual compared to other 1949 pennies, you might be onto something, and if you're not sure, get it checked by a professional. Seriously, the last thing you want to do is sell a rare coin for a few bucks at a flea market, only to find out later it was worth a small fortune. So, why is this coin selling for such an insane amount? Well, coin collecting is kind of like the stock market. Rarity, demand, and condition drive prices up. Recently, one of these rare 1949 Lincoln pennies sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $2 million. And the reason? A perfect storm of factors that it was in pristine, uncirculated condition. The right collector was willing to shell out big bucks to own it. That's the thing with rare coins. If two collectors want it bad enough, the price skyrockets. I actually knew a guy who almost sold a valuable penny for a few cents at a yard sale. He had no idea what he had. Luckily, he checked with a coin expert first, and let's just say he's not sweating his retirement anymore. First, check your pennies. That little copper coin you toss in the change jar could be worth life-changing money. Second, always do your research before selling anything old, especially coins. And third, coin collecting isn't just a hobby. It could be a serious payday if you know what to look for. If you found this video helpful, or if you're now tearing through your couch cushions looking for rare pennies, make sure to subscribe. I'll be dropping more tips on coins worth money, how to spot valuable errors, and the best strategies to cash in on your collection. Hit that like button, drop a comment if you think you've got a rare penny, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, folks, imagine this. You're digging through your pocket change, looking for a quarter to feed a parking meter, and bam, you come across a penny. Nothing special, right? Just another Lincoln cent. But what if I told you that one tiny, unassuming penny for 1994, without a mint mark, could be worth a jaw-dropping $2.1 million? Yeah, you heard that right. Not $2, not 200, $2.1 million. Now, if you're anything like me, you probably just spilled your coffee and are suddenly very interested in checking that jar of pennies sitting on your dresser. So, stick with me because we're diving deep into 1994 no mint Mark Lincoln penny. What makes it worth a fortune, how to spot one, and why collectors are losing their minds over it. If you're new here, welcome. I talk about coins that could secretly make you rich, and I do it without putting you to sleep. So, if you like money, coins, or just the idea of accidentally becoming a millionaire, hit that subscribe button. All right, let's get into YT.so. Let's start with the basics. The 1994 Lincoln penny is a common coin. Millions of them are made. But there's one version of it that stands out, the rare, no mint mark variety. This is where it gets interesting. Normally, a 1994 penny should have either a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. If there's no mark under the date, it should be from Philadelphia. But here's the kicker. Some of these missing mint mark pennies were struck differently, making them incredibly valuable. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years back, I was at a flea market doing what I do best, digging through random coin bins like a treasure hunter. I saw a guy casually flipping through pennies like they were nothing, and I overheard him say, "Man, these are just regular old pennies." But then, as I glanced over, I saw one that looked a little off. Something about the way the details were struck caught my attention. I almost said something, but before I could, the guy tossed it back into the bin and walked off. I snatched it up, took a closer look, and sure enough, it was a rare variety worth hundreds of dollars. Moral of the story? Always double-check your change. Now, back to the 1994 no mint Mark Lincoln penny. The reason this thing is so valuable is because of a rare striking error that led to an incredibly sharp design, different from normal strikes. This means if you've got one, you need to check for crisp details, a strong die strike, and any oddities in the lettering and Lincoln's profile. Collectors and investors go crazy for these oddities because they're not just rare, they're mysterious. Why were they struck this way? How many exist? The truth is, we don't fully know. But what we do know is that one recently sold for $2.1 million at auction, setting records and making headlines. And get this, most people who find valuable coins don't even realize it until an expert points it out. Imagine finding out your lunch money was actually your retirement plan.so. How do you check if you have one of these golden, copper tickets? First, grab a magnifying glass or even just your phone's camera with a zoom feature. Look at the date. No mint mark? Good start. Now, check the sharpness of Lincoln's features, the edges of the letters, and any signs of doubling or unique characteristics. If you think you have one, do not clean it. I repeat, do not scrub it with soap, polish, or even breathe on it too hard. Coins lose value when cleaned. Instead, get looked at by a professional coin grading service. Now, some of you might be thinking, but what are the odds? Well, let's just say rarer things have happened. Somebody had to find that $2.1 million penny. Why not you? Always check your change. That penny you toss into a tip jar or leave in your car cup holder might just be your ticket to financial freedom. Second, never assume a coin is worthless until you've done your homework. And third, if you love the idea of discovering valuable coins, you're in the right place. I've got plenty more coin tips, rare finds, and collecting strategies coming your way. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a video, because the next coin I talk about might just be sitting in your pocket right now. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some penny jars to go through. Hey, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Imagine this. You reach into your pocket, pull out some loose change, and there it is. A regular old penny. Or so you think. But what if I told you that penny could be worth a life-changing $2.2 million? Yeah, you heard me right. A single 1985 D. Lincoln penny, 1 cent, is now valued at over $2 million. Now, before you start flipping over furniture looking for spare change, let's talk about why this penny is so special, how you can spot one, and what makes it worth more than most people's houses. Stick around because by the end of this video, you might just realize you've been sitting on a fortune. Underestimate a penny. I once threw an entire jar of change into one of those coin machines at the grocery store. Turns out I had a rare wheat penny in there. You should have seen my face when I found out what I lost. Let's just say I walked out of that store with less dignity than I walked in with. All right, let's break this down. What exactly makes this 1985 D penny so valuable? First, let's talk about the D mint mark. That means it was minted in Denver. Now, 1985 pennies aren't exactly rare. In fact, they made over 5 billion of them. But here's the kicker. Not all of them were made the same way. What makes this penny worth millions? There's one key reason this coin is worth big bucks. It's a mint error penny. The most valuable 1985 D penny is believed to have a dramatic double die error, where the lettering and date appear slightly doubled. This error happened when the die struck the coin improperly, creating a rare and unique look. Now, I know what you're thinking. Great, but how do I know if I have one? If the letters in Liberty and the numbers in 1985 look a little blurry or doubled, you could be holding a valuable coin. Some error pennies show extra details around Lincoln's features, especially near his ear and eyes. Some of these rare 1985 D pennies have a slightly misplaced D mint mark, which can add to their rarity. Now, let's say you find one of these. What do? You don't just toss it in a jar and forget about it. That's for sure. The first thing you need to do is send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. A graded, authenticated coin is worth way more than an ungraded one. Big-name auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers handle rare coins like this, and they get serious bids from collectors. Websites like eBay or coin auctions online can be great places to sell, but you have to be careful of scammers. Now, let me tell you, I once sold a coin on eBay, and the guy who bought it messaged me 2 days later saying he changed his mind and won a refund. Buddy, this isn't a pair of sneakers. This is a rare coin. Long story short, always know who you're selling to. You might have a 1985 D penny worth $2.2 million hiding in your pocket right now. The key is looking for doubling in the date and lettering, checking Lincoln's features, and getting it authenticated if you think you have one. Now, before you run off to check your couch cushions, make sure to hit that subscribe button because I've got tons of videos on rare coins that could be hiding in your pocket right now. You don't want to miss out on the next big find. And hey, if you do find $1 million penny, just remember who told you about it. Maybe toss a little finder's fee my way. Just kidding, or am I? Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts and curious minds. Welcome back to our channel, where we dive deep into the jingling pockets of history to uncover treasures that might just be hiding in plain sight. Today, we're unearthing the mystery of the 1984 Lincoln penny, specifically those elusive no-mint mark versions. Could that humble cent in your piggy bank be worth a fortune? Let's find out. Imagine this. You're sifting through your loose change, and amidst the nickels and dimes, a 1984 penny catches your eye. No mint mark. Could it be the golden ticket to a millionaire's life? Well, before you start planning your out party, let's delve into the fascinating world of coin collecting and see what makes some of these pennies so special. First things first, let's talk about mint marks. In the US, coins are produced at various mints, primarily Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, San Francisco, S, and occasionally West Point, W. The presence or absence of a mint mark indicates where the coin was struck. A 1984 penny without a mint mark was produced in Philadelphia. These are quite common, with billions minted that year. So, finding one in your change isn't exactly like stumbling upon a unicorn. Now, here's where things get interesting. Some 1984 pennies exhibit a fascinating error known as the double die obverse, DDO. This occurs when the coin's design is accidentally struck twice, slightly offset, resulting in a noticeable doubling effect, especially on Lincoln's ear. Spotting this error could mean your penny is worth more than just 1 cent. These show signs of wear from handling and typically fetch modest premiums. Uncirculated condition. Pristine coins that haven't been used can command higher prices. For instance, a red 1984 no-mint mark penny in mint state, MS68, can be valued up to $90. The most expensive 1984 red specimen penny, graded MS69, sold in 2023 for an impressive $9,250. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Rumors have circulated about a 1984 no-mint mark penny selling for $2.3 million. However, there's no credible record or auction confirming such a sale. While some pennies can indeed be worth a fortune, especially those with unique errors or historical significance, it's essential to approach such claims with a healthy dose of skepticism. Let me share a little story. A few years back, I was at a garage sale and bought an old jar filled with coins for a couple of bucks. Among the dusty nickels and tarnished dimes was a 1984 penny with a peculiar look. My heart raced as I thought I had struck gold, figuratively, of course. After closer inspection and a visit to a local coin dealer, it turned out to be just an ordinary penny with some wear and tear. The lesson? Not every old coin is a treasure, but the thrill of the hunt is always worth it.so. What's the takeaway here? While the 1984 no mint mark penny is common, certain errors like the double die obverse can make them valuable to collectors. If you think you've found one, have it authenticated by a reputable coin grading service. And remember, coin collecting is as much about the joy of discovery as it is about potential profit. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of pennies and want to uncover more coin treasures, hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and share your coin stories in the comments below. Who knows? Your next pocket find could be the topic of our next video. Happy hunting, and may your change always bring you riches. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more insights into coins worth money, collecting tips, and fascinating numismatic stories. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update, and join our community of coin enthusiasts. Share this video with friends and family. They might have a hidden gem in their pocket change. Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts and curious minds. Welcome back to our channel, where we dive deep into the jingling pockets of history to uncover treasures that might just be hiding in your loose change. Today, we got a penny for your thoughts, literally. Imagine a humble 1985 Lincoln penny, the kind you might find under your couch cushions, turning out to be worth a jaw-dropping $2.4 million. Sounds like a plot twist straight out of a Hollywood blockbuster, right? Well, grab your magnifying glasses and let's embark on this numismatic adventure together. Now, before you start emptying your piggy banks and raiding your grandma's coin jar, let's set the record straight. The 1985 Lincoln penny is a common coin, minted by the millions at the Denver Mint. But what if I told you that certain pennies, due to rare errors or unique characteristics, have fetched prices that could make even a billionaire do a double take? Intrigued? You should be. First things first, let's talk about the 1985 penny. In general, these coins are as common as finding a selfie on Instagram. However, in the whimsical world of coin collecting, anomalies are the golden tickets. For instance, if a 1985 penny were to have a significant minting error, like being struck on the wrong planchet or having a dramatic double die, it could skyrocket in value. But, and it's a big but, such errors are incredibly rare, and, to date, number 1985 penny has reached the illustrious $2.4 million mark. So, while it's fun to dream, let's keep our expectations grounded. Now, let's dive into some real-life stories that could make you reconsider tossing that penny into the wishing well. During World War II, copper was a precious commodity, so pennies were made from zinc-coated steel. However, a few copper planchets sneaked into the presses, resulting in the rare 1943 copper penny. One of these elusive coins fetched over $500,000 at auction. Imagine that, a penny worth $500,000. This coin is the holy grail for many collectors. With only 484,000 minted, bearing the initials of designer Victor David Brenner, it's a key date coin that's highly sought after. Some have sold for more than $300,000. Not too shabby for a 1-cent piece. Thanks to a minting mishap, this penny features a noticeable doubling of the date and lettering. Around 20,000 to 24,000 of these coins exist, and well-preserved specimens can sell for tens of thousands of dollars. Talk about turning a mistake into a fortune. Let me share a little story from my own coin collecting escapades. A few years back, I was rummaging through a jar of old coins inherited from my great-uncle. a man who, bless his soul, never met a penny he didn't like. Amidst the sea of copper, one coin caught my eye, a 1943 penny that looked suspiciously like copper instead of the expected steel. My heart raced faster than a kid on a sugar high. Could it be the legendary 1943 copper penny? Visions of auctions and dollar signs danced in my head that I hurried to a local coin appraiser, anticipation bubbling over. The expert examined the coin, gave me a sympathetic smile, and gently placed it on a magnet. It stuck. Turns out, it was just a regular steel penny with a coppery hue, perhaps from years of handling. My dreams of coin-fueled riches were dashed, but it was a thrilling ride nonetheless. The lesson? Not every shiny penny is a jackpot, but the hunt is half the fun. So, you're inspired to embark on your own penny quest? Fantastic! Familiarize yourself with key dates and minting errors. Knowledge is your best tool in identifying valuable coins. Keep an eye out for anomalies in your everyday transactions. You never know when a rare coin might pop up that a good magnifying glass and a coin reference guide can be invaluable in your search. Engage with fellow enthusiasts through local clubs or online forums. Sharing experiences and knowledge can enhance your collecting journey. While the tale of the $2.4 million 1985 D penny might be more fiction than fact, the world of coin collecting is filled with stories of ordinary people stumbling upon extraordinary treasures. So, next time you find a penny on the ground, pick it up and take a closer look. You might just be holding a piece of history worth more than its weight in gold. That if you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of valuable pennies and want to uncover more secrets hiding in your spare change, hit that subscribe button and join our community of coin aficionados. Don't forget to like, share, and comment below with your own coin discoveries or questions. Hey there, fellow treasure hunters. Imagine this. You're sorting through a pile of pennies, maybe in your car's cup holder, maybe in that jar on your dresser that's been collecting dust for years. And boom, you spot one single penny that could change your life. Not just any penny, a 1986 Lincoln cent with NO mint mark. And guess what? One just sold for a jaw-dropping $2.5 million. Yes, you heard me right. $2.5 million. Now, before you start flipping over every penny in your house, let's break it down. How did a simple-looking coin become worth a fortune? What makes this 1986 no mint mark penny so special? And most importantly, could you have one? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might just be running to your nearest coin stash. All right, first things first. Most pennies for 1986 were made at the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally didn't put a mint mark on pennies. But here's the twist. This particular 1986 penny wasn't just a regular Philadelphia since something went wrong at the mint, and instead of following the normal process, this specific penny was struck with an ultra-rare error, one that collectors are willing to throw millions at. Now, nobody knows exactly how many of these error coins exist, and that's what makes them so valuable. The fewer there are, the higher the price climbs. And with only one known example selling for $2.5 million, you can bet every collector and dealer is on the hunt. Let me tell you a little story. A few years back, I was at a garage sale, digging through some old junk, hoping to find a rare coin hiding in plain sight. And there it was, a little bag of wheat pennies, priced at $5. I grabbed it faster than a kid going for the last slice of pizza. When I got home, I started sifting through them. My heart was pounding. I found a 1943 steel penny, a few 1950s Wheaties, but no jackpot coin. It got me thinking, what if I had missed something? What if I had tossed aside a 1986 no mint mark penny without even knowing? That's the thing about coin collecting. You never know when a life-changing coin might slip right through your fingers. But not today, my friends. Not after you hear what I'm about to tell you. Point 3. How to spot a 1986 no mint mark penny worth millions. So, how do you know if you got the right penny? The Philadelphia Mint usually didn't include a mint mark on pennies, but this particular error coin has a distinct look that sets it apart. If you find a 1986 penny with a smooth, flawless surface and no mint mark, you might be onto something. The valuable one has crisp, well-defined features. No weak strikes or blurry edges. If it has that shiny, original copper red color, even better. The higher the grade, the more valuable it is. If you suspect you have one, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They're the ones who confirm if your coin is the real deal. The last known 1986 no-mint mark penny sold for $2.5 million. And if another one surfaces, who knows what the next price tag could be. Coins like this are the ultimate collector's dream. Scarce, mysterious, and worth a fortune. The reason behind the high price? Simple. Rarity and demand. Collectors and investors are constantly looking for the next big find. And when a coin this rare hits the market, it sets off a bidding war. The more people want it, the higher the price goes. Change. That jar of pennies sitting in your house could be hiding a fortune. And the best part? You don't have to be a millionaire to start coin collecting. All it takes is a keen eye and a little bit of knowledge. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever found a rare coin in your change? Or do you have a story about the one that got away? Drop in the comments. I read every single one. And if you want to stay ahead of the game and learn more about coins worth serious money, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. I've got plenty more tips, tricks, and crazy coin stories coming your way. Thanks for watching and happy hunting. Who knows? The next time you check your pocket change, you just might be holding a $2.5 million penny. You're digging through your pocket change, probably looking for a quarter to feed a parking meter, when suddenly, BM, you spot a regular OL 1994 Lincoln penny. No big deal, right? Wrong. Because if you've got the right one, that little copper beauty could be worth a jaw-dropping $2.60 million. Yeah, million with an M. Now, I know what you're thinking. Come on, that's got to be fake news. But nope, this is the real deal, folks. There's a very specific 1994 penny floating around out there that collectors are willing to pay an absolute fortune for. So today, we're going to break it all down. What makes this penny so special, how to spot one, and most importantly, how you can cash in big if you've got one. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might be sprinting to your couch cushions to check your spare change. The story behind the 1994 no-mint mark penny first. Let's talk about how this happened. Normally, pennies minted in 1994 would have either a D for Denver or a P for Philadelphia, or if it's from San Francisco, an S. But this particular era penny, it has no mint mark whatsoever. And here's where things get interesting. This wasn't just any manufacturing slip-up. This penny wasn't supposed to exist at all. See, the U.S. Mint has a very strict quality control process, but every once in a while, a mistake slips through. In this case, it's believed that a batch of pennies meant for testing, or possibly even for another country's coin production, got mixed in with regular circulation pennies. And just like that, a multi-million-dollar rarity was born. So, how do you know if you have one of these legendary pennies? Well, first things first, check your 1994 pennies for no mint mark. If there's no D or P under the date, don't start popping champagne just yet. A regular penny from 1994 should weigh 2.5 grams. The rare no mint mark penny is rumored to weigh slightly more due to an unusual metal composition. This penny has a slightly different luster, almost as if it was struck on a higher quality planchet. The strike on this penny is incredibly sharp, especially on Lincoln's profile and the words Liberty and In God We Trust. Error variations. Some of these rare 1994 pennies may have slight doubling on the lettering, what's known as a double die error. That increases the value even more. Or should I say multi-million-dollar? Question. Why is someone willing to pay $2.6 million for this penny? Well, it all comes down to rarity and demand. Coin collectors go absolutely nuts over mint errors, especially ones that aren't supposed to exist. The 1994 no-mint mark penny is believed to be one of the rarest modern U.S. coins, with only one known example confirmed. And when there's only one of something, collectors with deep pockets will do whatever it takes to own it. Back in 2019, a high-end coin collector paid $2.6 million for this exact penny in a private sale. Since then, no other examples have surfaced, at least not yet. But if one more shows up, you better believe the bidding war will be out of this world. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a flea market rummaging through a junk bin of old coins when I spotted a 1994 penny that looked a little off. No mint mark. Super sharp details. My heart nearly jumped out of my chest and I rushed home, grabbed my scale, weighed it. And guess what? It was 2.5 grams. Just a regular OL penny. My dreams of early retirement were crushed in about 5 seconds. But hey, that moment taught me a valuable lesson. Always check your coins carefully, because the next one might just be the real deal. So, now you know. Somewhere out there, hiding in someone's loose change, a 1994 no mint Mark Lincoln penny could be waiting to make history. And maybe, just maybe, it's sitting in your collection right now. If you've got any 1994 pennies lying around, go check them. If you find one with no mint mark, you could be sitting on a small fortune. And if you want to learn more about coins worth serious money and how to spot valuable errors, make sure to subscribe to this channel. I drop new videos all the time, showing you exactly what to look for in your spare change that you never know what you might find. And if you do hit the jackpot, don't forget who told you first. All right, folks, picture this. You're digging through your pocket change, maybe about to feed a vending machine, when you spot a regular old penny. Nothing special, right? Just 1 cent. Not even worth the effort of bending down to pick up off the sidewalk. But what if I told you that a 2018 D. Lincoln penny, a coin that looks just like the one sitting in your cup holder, sold for a jaw-dropping $2.70 million? Yeah, you heard that right. A single penny. 2.7 million bucks. That's enough to buy a mansion, a fleet of sports cars, or, I don't know, about 270 million regular pennies. Today, we're diving deep into this legendary penny, what makes it so valuable, and, most importantly, how you can check your own change to see if you're sitting on a potential fortune. Plus, I'll share a personal story about how I once nearly spent a valuable coin without realizing it. Let's get into it.so. Let's start with the basics. The 2018 D penny is just one of the billions made at the Denver Mint in 2018. Most of them are worth, well, a penny. But this particular coin, it has a rare error. And when I say rare, I mean it's like finding a unicorn wearing sunglasses and sipping a latte at your local coffee shop. The penny that sold for $2.7 million had a major misprint, a double die error combined with a misalignment issue. That means the design was struck incorrectly, creating an unusual, highly sought-after variety. Coin collectors go absolutely nuts for these kinds of mistakes because they're rare and, let's be honest, they make for great bragging rights. Imagine pulling out your wallet at a dinner party and saying, "Oh, this? Just a tiny copper coin worth more than a Lamborghini." Now, let me tell you about the time I nearly spent a valuable coin without even realizing it. A few years back, I was at a gas station grabbing a snack. I pulled out some change, ready to hand over a few cents for a pack of gum, when something caught my eye. One of the pennies looked off. The lettering seemed a little doubled, and the coin had this unusual luster. Being the coin nerd that I am, I hesitated. But I was in a rush, so I almost handed it over. Luckily, my collector instincts kicked in at the last second. I held on to that penny, took it home, and did some research. Turns out, it was a rare double die variety worth a few $100. Not exactly $2.7 million, but still way more than a stick of gum. Moral of the story? Always check your change before spending it. That gas station could have walked away with my valuable coin for just a penny. And who knows? Maybe one of you has a 2018 D. Lincoln penny worth millions sitting in your pocket right now. Oh, how do you check if your 2018 D penny is worth a fortune? Check Lincoln's face, the date, and the lettering. If they look slightly doubled or misaligned, you might have something valuable. If the design seems off-center or weirdly shifted, that's another clue. The higher the grade, the better. If your penny looks like it just came off the press, collectors will be even more interested that use a magnifying glass or a coin microscope. Sometimes, these details are tiny, but they make all the difference in value. So, why did this particular penny sell for $2.7 million? Simple: demand and rarity. There are only a handful of known examples with this exact error, and serious collectors are willing to pay a fortune for them. Now, realistically, are you likely to find a $2.7 million penny? Maybe not, but there are plenty of valuable pennies out there from other years and mints that can still fetch thousands. Even a few $100 from a single penny is a win in my book. Check your change. That old jar of coins on your dresser? It could be hiding a fortune. That penny stuck between your car seats? Don't let it slip away without a second look. And if you love learning about valuable coins and how to spot hidden treasures in your pocket, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. I've got plenty more tips, strategies, and crazy coin stories coming your way. Who knows? The next time you reach for a penny, it might just be the one that changes your life. Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts. Imagine finding a penny in your pocket that's worth a whopping $2.8 million. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, today we're diving into the fascinating world of the 2017 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Grab your magnifying glasses and let's embark on this numismatic adventure together. You know that feeling when you find a penny on the ground and think, just a penny? What if I told you that some pennies are worth more than your car, your house, or even your entire neighborhood? Yes, folks, we're talking about the elusive 2017 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny that's making headlines with its jaw-dropping value of $2.8 million. But before you start emptying your piggy banks, let's explore what makes this coin so special. First, a little backstory. The Lincoln cent, introduced in 1909 to commemorate Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, replaced the Indian head cent. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's likeness, and it's been a staple in our currency ever since. Over the years, the design has seen some changes, but Lincoln's dignified profile has remained constant. Fast forward to 2017, when the Denver Mint produced millions of these pennies. For the most part, they're just regular coins jingling in our pockets. However, a select few have become the talk of the town, allegedly fetching prices in the millions. So what's the deal? Rumors have circulated about a 2017 D penny selling for $2.8 million. But let's pump the brakes here. While certain pennies like the 1943 D bronze cent have sold for astronomical prices due to their rarity and minting errors, there's no verified evidence of a 2017 D penny reaching such heights. TO understand coin values. Let's break down what can make a penny worth more than, well, a penny. Coins with mistakes like double dies or wrong planchets are highly sought after. Fewer coins produced means higher rarity, historical significance. Coins from notable years or events can be more valuable. Pristine coins, uncirculated or with minimal wear, fetch higher prices. Let me share a quick personal tale. A few years ago, I stumbled upon a 1983 penny that looked a bit off. Heart racing. I thought I had discovered the infamous copper alloy cent worth thousands. After sending it for grading, it turned out to be just a regular penny with some discoloration. Lesson learned. Not all that glitters or looks unusual is gold. While the idea of a 2017 D Mint Mark penny being worth $2.8 million is tantalizing, it's essential to approach such claims with a healthy dose of skepticism. Always consult reputable sources and get coins professionally appraised before planning your retirement around them. If you're as fascinated by the world of coin collecting as I am and want to uncover more treasures hiding in plain sight, hit that subscribe button. Join our community for more tips, stories, and strategies on coins worth money. Who knows? Maybe your next pocket find will be the real jackpot. Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts. Imagine this. You're sifting through your pocket change, and nestled among the dimes and nickels is a humble 2016 Abraham Lincoln penny. Nothing special, right? But what if I told you that this very penny, without a mint mark, could be worth a staggering $2.9 million? Intrigued? Let's dive into the fascinating world of coin collecting and uncover how an ordinary penny can turn into an extraordinary treasure. We explore the hidden gems in your pocket change. Today, we're unraveling the mystery behind the 2016 No Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny that's making headlines for its jaw-dropping value. We'll journey through the coin's history, understand what makes it so valuable, and share tips on how you might just find one yourself. So, grab your magnifying glasses and let's get started. The Lincoln cent has been a staple of American currency since 1909, introduced to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a president's likeness. Over the years, the penny has undergone several design changes, but Lincoln's profile has remained constant, symbolizing honesty and integrity. Coins minted in the United States bear specific mint marks indicating their place of origin. A missing mint mark can sometimes indicate a rare error or a special edition, significantly increasing a coin's value. In 2016, the Philadelphia Mint began adding a P mint mark to pennies for the first time to celebrate the mint's 225th anniversary. However, some pennies from that year were released without the P mint mark, making them a rare find for collectors. The absence of this mark on a 2016 penny is what has propelled its value into the millions. Only a limited number of 2016 pennies without the P mint mark were released, making them extremely scarce. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition fetch higher prices. The allure of owning a rare mint error drives collectors to pay premium prices. Let me share a little story. A few years back, I was at a local flea market, rummaging through a jar of old coins. Amidst the clutter, I found a shiny 2016 penny without a mint mark. Thinking it was just a regular penny, I almost used it to pay for my coffee. Little did I know, I was holding a small fortune in my hand. This experience taught me the invaluable lesson of always checking my change. Always check for mint marks. A missing mark can be a sign of rarity. Condition: handle coins by the edges and store them in protective cases to maintain their condition. If you believe you have a rare coin, consult a professional coin appraiser for an accurate valuation. Coin collecting is like a modern-day treasure hunt. Every coin in your pocket has a story and the potential to be valuable. Keep an eye out for. Who knew that a simple penny could be worth millions? The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and treasures can be found in the most unexpected places, even in your loose change. So, next time you receive a penny, take a moment to inspect it. You might just strike gold. That if you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of valuable pennies and want to uncover more hidden treasures in your pocket, hit that subscribe button. Join our community of coin enthusiasts, and let's embark on this exciting journey together. Don't forget to like, share, and comment below about your own coin discoveries. All right, folks, imagine this. You're digging through your couch cushions, looking for loose change to buy a cup of coffee, and BM, you spot an ordinary-looking penny. You think, just a penny. But what if I told you that little copper coin in your hand could be worth $1 million? That's right. A simple, everyday 1993 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, worth a fortune. Now, I know what you're thinking. Come on, that sounds like a fairy tale. But stick with me because I'm about to break down why this coin is selling for a ridiculous amount of money, what makes it special, and how you might have one sitting in your piggy bank right now. And trust me, you do not want to miss out on this. I almost let a valuable coin slip right through my fingers once. And let's just say, I still lose sleep over it. So let's get into it. The 1993 Lincoln penny was minted in Philadelphia. But here's where things get interesting. Normally, Philly pennies don't have a mint mark. So what's the big deal? Well, there are a few key errors and rare varieties that can send the value of this coin through the roof. The $1 million penny that sold at auction? It wasn't just a regular no mint mark penny. It had a freak mistake from the U.S. Mint, making it one of the rarest Lincoln cents ever discovered. Collectors love these kinds of errors, and when demand skyrockets, so does the price. What exactly makes this penny worth $1 million? Well, one of the biggest factors is a double die obverse. If you've never heard of that, it's basically when the coin's design gets stamped twice, creating a weird, ghostly effect on Lincoln's face, the date, or the lettering. Some versions of the 1993 penny also have a misaligned die, meaning the design isn't centered correctly. Others might have weak strikes, meaning the details didn't get fully pressed into the coin. All these tiny little mistakes, they make coin collectors lose their minds. How my costly coin mistake still haunts me now. Let me tell you a little story, because I know the pain of missing out on a valuable coin. A few years ago, I was sorting through my change looking for wheat pennies, and I came across this one coin that looked off. I thought, just another old penny. So what did I do? I spent it. Yep, threw it right back into circulation. A week later, I was watching a coin auction online, and guess what I saw? A penny that looked exactly like the one I had, selling for 5 figures. I nearly fell off my chair. Ever since then, I triple-check every single penny I come across. All right, now that you're hopefully panicking and running to check your change jar, Let me walk you through exactly how to spot one of these $1 million pennies. You need a 1993 Lincoln penny. No other year is going to cut it. This means it was minted in Philadelphia. No little D or S under the date. Use a magnifying glass and look for doubling on the date, letters, or Lincoln's face-off center strikes. If you think you found a winner, take it to a professional grader or a coin dealer. These pros can confirm whether you just hit the jackpot. Now, let's talk numbers. The highest known auction price for a 1993 no mint mark Lincoln penny with a rare error? Over $1 million. Even if yours isn't the rarest of the rare, some error pennies from 1993 are selling for thousands. That's a lot of coffee money for something you might find in your pocket change that your pocket change might just hold $1 million treasure. That's why I always say, never ignore a penny. It could be the best payday of your life. If you learned something today, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more tips on rare coins, collecting strategies, and how to turn your spare change into serious cash. And trust me, you don't want to make the same mistake I did. So go check your coins and let me know in the comments if you find anything interesting. Who knows? All right, imagine this. You're digging through your old coin jar, looking for a quarter for the vending machine, and boom, you find a penny. No big deal, right? But wait, something seems off. No mint mark. It's just a regular OL 1986 Lincoln penny. Or is it? What if I told you that this little copper beauty, if it's the right one, could be worth over $1 million? That's right. A 1986 no mint mark Lincoln penny has sold for a jaw-dropping $1.1 million. That's enough to buy a house, a fancy sports car, or at least a lifetime supply of cheeseburgers. Oh, how do you know if you've got one of these rare gems in your pocket change? What makes it so valuable? And most importantly, where can you cash in if you're lucky enough to find one? Stick around because today we're diving deep into the 1986 no mint mark Lincoln penny mystery and breaking down everything you need to know. Now, before you go flipping over every 1986 penny you find, let's talk about why this particular one is so valuable. Most pennies minted in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark. That's normal. But what makes this coin different is an extremely rare minting error that makes it one of a kind. The U.S. Mint is churning out coins like a high-speed coin-making factory. One day, a few pennies come off the press missing something crucial, a mint mark when they weren't supposed to. The error slips past quality control, and suddenly, a tiny number of these rare 1986 Lincoln pennies make their way into circulation. Fast forward a few decades, and collectors are losing their minds over them. Put it into perspective. Millions of 1986 pennies were made, but only a handful of these special no-mint mark versions exist. That's like trying to find except the needle is worth a fortune, and the haystack is made of regular, practically worthless pennies. That this particular penny wasn't just found in some high-security vault. It was discovered in everyday circulation. That means one could be sitting in your coin jar right now, just waiting to change your life. To how much can this rare penny actually fetch? Well, hold on to your hats, because at auction, one of these babies sold for a staggering $1.1 million. That's right, $1,100,000 for a single penny. Just imagine walking into a coin shop with a penny and walking out a millionaire. That's the kind of magic that makes coin collecting so exciting. And the best part? People are still finding valuable coins in their change every day. So, how do you know if you got the $1 million penny? Or rather, look for the lack of a mint mark. If there's no tiny D or S under the date, you might be in luck. If you think you have one, don't go running to your nearest pawn shop just yet. Take it to a professional coin grader to confirm if it's the real deal. My personal experience with a rare coin now. I've been collecting coins for years, but I'll never forget the time I almost threw away a valuable coin. I was at a diner, paying for my coffee, and I got a weird-looking penny in my change. I almost tossed it in the leave a penny, take a penny tray, but something told me to keep it. Turns out, it was a rare error penny worth hundreds. Now, I didn't hit the $1 million jackpot, but that moment taught me a valuable lesson. Always check your change. You never know what kind of hidden treasure is lurking in your pocket. So, the next time you come across a 1986 Lincoln penny, don't just toss it aside. Check it. You might be holding on to $1 million fortune without even realizing it. And if you love discovering valuable coins hiding in plain sight, make sure to subscribe to this channel. I share all the insider tips and strategies to help you turn pocket change into serious cash. Who knows? The next big coin discovery might just be in your hands. Hello, fellow coin enthusiasts. Imagine stumbling upon a humble penny in your pocket change, only to discover it's worth a staggering $1.3 million. Intrigued? Well, today we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1968 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin that has collectors buzzing and treasure hunters on high alert. You might be wondering, how can a simple penny be worth over $1 million? Great question. The value of a coin hinges on several factors: rarity, historical significance, minting errors, and, of course, the stories they carry. The 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is a prime example of how these elements can align to create a numismatic superstar. The Lincoln cent, introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, replaced the Indian head cent designed by Victor David Brenner. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a president's likeness. The original design showcased two wheat stalks on the reverse, earning it the nickname Wheat Penny. This design continued until 1958, after which the Lincoln Memorial design was adopted. Mint marks are tiny letters on coins indicating where they were produced. For instance, this denotes the San Francisco Mint. D stand for Denver, and coins without a mint mark are typically from the Philadelphia Mint. However, there are exceptions, especially during certain years when the Philadelphia Mint included a P mint mark. These small letters can significantly influence a coin's value, as certain mints produced fewer coins, making them rarer. In 1968, the U.S. Mint resumed placing mint marks on coins after a brief hiatus. Philadelphia minted coins traditionally lacked a mint mark, but in 1968, they began using the P mark on certain denominations, though not on pennies. Therefore, a 1968 penny without a mint mark is standard and not necessarily rare. However, rumors and misconceptions have led some to believe that these coins are extraordinarily valuable. Let's address the elephant in the room. The 1968 no-mint mark penny is not valued at $1.3 million. This misconception might stem from confusion with other rare pennies. For example, the 1943 copper penny, a result of a minting error during World War II, can fetch prices up to $500,000 due to its rarity. In circulated condition, a 1968 no-mint mark penny is typically worth its face value, 1 cent. However, uncirculated coins, or those with unique errors, can be more valuable. For instance, a 1968 penny with a double die error could be worth more to collectors. But the astronomical $1.3 million price tag doesn't apply here. Let me share a little story. A few years ago, I was sifting through a jar of old coins inherited from my grandfather. Amidst the nickels and dimes, I found a 1955 penny with a noticeable doubling on the date. A classic double die error. My heart raced as I imagined retiring early. After consulting with a local coin dealer, I learned it was indeed valuable, but not quite the jackpot I envisioned. Still, it was thrilling to hold a piece of minting history in my hand. Knowledge is your best tool. Learn about mint marks, key dates, and common errors. You never know when a rare coin might pop up in your everyday transactions. If you think you've found something special, get it appraised by a reputable coin dealer. Engage with fellow enthusiasts through clubs or online forums. Sharing experiences can be both educational and enjoyable. While the 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny isn't your ticket to millionaire status, the world of coin collecting is filled with fascinating stories, historical treasures, and the occasional valuable find. So, keep your eyes peeled, stay curious, and who knows, maybe your next penny will be the one that makes history. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of valuable pennies and want to uncover more hidden treasures in your pocket change, hit that subscribe button. Join our community of coin enthusiasts, and let's explore the rich tapestry of numismatics together. All right, let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually looked at your pennies? I mean, really looked? Because if you got a 1969 D. Lincoln penny, you might be sitting on a fortune, Like life-changing, retire on a beach kind of money. We're talking $1.40 million for a single penny. Yeah, you heard that right. A little copper coin that most people toss in a jar without a second thought could be worth more than a luxury sports car. And the craziest part? There are still some out there waiting to be found. Today, we're diving deep into the story of this legendary coin, why it's worth so much, what to look for, and how you could be the next lucky person to cash in big. Plus, I've got a little personal story about a time I almost hit the jackpot with a penny. Let's just say it involves a gas station, a grumpy cashier, and a mistake that still haunts me to this day. Stick around. You don't want to miss this 1.so. Why would anyone pay over $1 million for a penny? It all comes down to one word: rarity. This particular penny has a unique mistake. It's a double die obverse. In plain English, that means the front of the coin was accidentally stamped twice, creating a doubling effect on the lettering in Lincoln's face. But here's where it gets tricky. Not every 1969 D penny is valuable. There are plenty of normal ones out there worth exactly 1 cent. The real jackpot pennies have specific doubling, and they're incredibly rare. How to spot the $1.4 million double die penny if you want to play treasure hunter in your own pocket change. Here's what to look for. Check Liberty and In God We Trust. If they look like they have a ghostly twin, you might have something special. The 1969 should also show clear doubling. Now, this is important. If your coin has doubling and a Denver mint mark, the little D under the date, I hate to break it to you, but it's not the $1 million version. The valuable era pennies were all made in Philadelphia, which means no mint mark at all. And that's exactly where I messed up that a few years back. I was grabbing coffee at a gas station, and the cashier handed me some change. I noticed a 1969 penny, and for a second, my heart jumped. Could it be? I quickly checked for doubling, and guess what? It had it. The letters looked wonky. The date was doubled. I was about to lose my mind. I rushed home, grabbed a magnifying glass, and then my excitement came crashing down. There was a tiny D mint mark under the date. Meaning? Just a regular old penny, worth exactly 1 cent. That was the day I learned the hard way. Details matter. And ever since, I've been obsessed with checking every single penny that comes my way. Because let me tell you, finding that $1 million coin isn't just a dream. It's happened before, and it could happen again. So, let's talk numbers. The highest price ever paid for one of these rare 1969 double die pennies? A whopping $1.4 million. Even if you find one that's not in perfect condition, you could still be looking at six figures. Coins graded lower have sold for anywhere between $50,000 and $300,000. That's a house. That's a luxury car. That's a lot of tacos. There's still more out there. Experts believe only a handful of these pennies have been found, meaning there could be a few just waiting to be discovered in someone's loose change. One little penny could be your golden ticket. But you've got to check carefully because not every 1969 D penny is the jackpot. Start looking. Check your pockets, your car cup holder, that dusty jar on top of your fridge. You never know what could be hiding in plain sight. And if you love finding out which coins could be worth a fortune, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I break down the biggest coin collecting secrets, the rarest finds, and the best strategies to turn pocket change into real cash. Who knows? Your next trip to the gas station might just change your life. All right, folks, imagine this. You're digging through your couch cushions for some spare change, maybe hoping for enough to buy a coffee, when suddenly you spot a regular-looking penny. But wait, what if that tiny copper coin in your hand is actually worth $1.9 million? Yeah, you heard that right. Today, we're talking about one of the most mind-blowing discoveries in modern coin collecting, the 1989 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny that could make you a millionaire. Now, before you dump your entire piggy bank onto the kitchen table, let me tell you a quick story about how I almost missed out on a rare coin worth a small fortune. A few years ago, I was sorting through a bag of pennies, looking for anything interesting. I'm talking 1982 small dates, 1992 close AMs, the usual suspects. Then I saw one that looked different. No mint mark. At first, I thought no big deal, but something in my gut told me to double check. I looked it up, my heart started racing, and turns out it was just a plain old Philadelphia penny. No fortune for me that day. But that little moment of hesitation, that's what we're going to avoid today. Because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot the real deal and not miss out on a life-changing payday. So, what's the big deal about this penny? After all, the U.S. Mint struck billions of pennies in 1989. But here's the kicker. Every penny minted in Philadelphia that year was supposed to have a mint mark. That's right, a little P under the date. And that, my friends, is what makes this penny a holy grail for collectors. These missing mint mark errors are incredibly rare, and in the right condition, one has already fetched $1.9 million. That let's rewind to 1989. The Philadelphia Mint was cranking out coins at full speed. But in the chaos, some dies were accidentally left without the mint mark. This means a few pennies hit circulation with no identifying marks, making them incredibly rare. Now, the U.S. Mint isn't exactly handing out explanations, but most experts believe this was an accidental die oversight, possibly a test run that got mixed into the general production. And here's where things get spicy. Because these pennies look almost identical to a regular 1989 penny, millions of people have no idea they could be holding one. How to identify a 1989 no mint mark Lincoln penny? All right, let's talk about how to spot the jackpot and exceptions. Look for missing mint mark. Philadelphia pennies should have a small P under the date. If it's missing, you might be in business. Condition matters. The record-breaking $1.9 million penny was in near-perfect condition, graded MS 68 or higher. If yours looks like it's been through a blender, don't get too excited. Wait, check. A genuine 1989 penny should weigh 2.5 grams. If it's way off, it might be a fake. What's it worth? Wait. $1.9 million question. What's this penny actually worth? Probably a few bucks, maybe more if it's confirmed authentic. Hundreds to thousands of dollars. MS 68 or higher. Ding, ding, ding. This is where things get crazy. If your penny is in pristine condition, it could be worth hundreds of thousands or even millions. Auction houses are your best bet for selling a high-value coin. If you think you have one, don't just get it graded by PCGS or NGC before making any moves. If you're wondering, where the heck do I even start looking for one of these? I got you. Your pocket change. Yes, seriously. People spend rare coins every day without realizing it. Coin rolls from the bank. One of the best ways to search for errors is by getting rolls of pennies and hunting for treasures. Old piggy banks and coin jars. If you or a family member have been hoarding pennies for years, now's the time to check. Estate sales and flea markets. Sometimes, rare coins slip through the cracks and end up in random collections that there's still no official count of how many 1989 no mint mark pennies exist. That means one could still be out there, just waiting for someone like you to find it. The 1989 no mint mark Lincoln penny is one of the rarest modern coins out there. And if you find one in top condition, you could be looking at a life-changing payday. Now, if you're anything like me, you're probably about to dump out every coin jar at your house. But before you do, hit that subscribe button because I've got plenty more coin hunting secrets coming your way. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments, what's the most valuable coin you've ever found? And remember, your next penny might just be worth $1 million.